Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. So, we are back again with a topic that I've been meaning to talk about for a long, long time, and I'm glad that I finally got the courage to actually start doing it. So, let's talk about this, okay? So, this video is, obviously for everyone, but this video is for especially for my fellow people who are, we're part of Gen Z. You hear all this talk about how, oh, Gen Z, it's the worst generation of all time. Oh, you fucking kids these days, whatever. Here's the thing. Most of us, probably all of us, if you're part of Gen Z, unless you're part of the older Gen Z, when we grow up, we've not known a world where without mobile phones, mass surveillance, where it feels like there's fucking cameras, there's just cameras everywhere, I gotta be honest. And of course, social media, which, we're gonna talk about that. So we're at a point in our society where it feels like anything you do, gets posted online. And this has gotten especially bad, and we're gonna talk about it, especially because, these people who are posting these things online are behind anonymous accounts. And people are just getting harassed and just doxxed and just horrible things. Being told things that no fucking person should ever tell another person, to put it simply. And I'm not going to act like I'm this holy person. I've said mean things to people. I've hurt people. Guess what? So this isn't me coming in here acting all self-righteous, being like, hey, I'm such a better person than you. But I want to talk about, I actually want to talk about the case of Maddie Kowalski. So listen. If you don't know who this is, you're completely out of the loop. Basically, this was this girl who, last November, she was very drunk at a fraternity party, and she was doing some just unholy things, with, nothing, didn't harm anyone, but she was with a bunch of fraternity guys, and it was bad, okay? But here's the thing. Regardless of whether or not you feel, personally, obviously, I don't think anyone should do that, although certainly, the people who posted it online, anyways, she got posted online, she was being, video recorded without her consent or knowledge. And it went online, it went mega viral. I mean, mega, mega viral. We're talking, this had, people were talking about it on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. And it was kind of things that just blew up all over the place. And, I just want to talk about that. And obviously, I'm not saying I don't think anyone should, degrade themselves that way. But I will say this, whoever leaked it is a horrible person. Because, I don't understand why. I guess I just don't get it. What did you gain from that? I guess there's just people who just take a lot of joy in humiliating people. I understand what she did was morally wrong, and so were the guys who were there doing pretty much kind of the same thing. But I will say this. I was talking to one of my Gen X friends, and he was talking about she was talking about how this girl there was this girl back. There was a girl in college who had a party and pretty much just all of a sudden just did that. But here's the thing. Whether or not you think it's morally wrong, here's the thing. Okay. How many times am I going to say, here's the thing? There was once a time where you could pretty much act a fool. You could be yourself. You could act a fool, and you wouldn't have to worry about getting posted online and just doxxed and just harassed. It's not even just that. Obviously that was an extreme case, but I use Twitter a lot. I saw some student in Iowa who was wearing a skirt and just other attire that was, well, it's the kind of thing that people are going to judge. All right. Now, personally, I will say this. I would never wear that, but I have to ask, who gives a fuck? Why? I just have to ask why. I feel like there's just so many bigger issues in the world going on than worrying about what another man is wearing. I'm gonna get straight to the point on that one. And, I just think it's really sad because even like that, and even other cases, people, if you go around campus, and any college campus in the United States, and you're wearing even a cringy shirt, or just anything that's just not conforms to the rest of what everyone else is wearing, if you're trying to you don't care if you're trying to be yourself, there is a very good chance you will get posted online, whether it's on Twitter or it's on one of the school things, and you will just be getting attacked by random people. And I just think it's horrible because I was talking about this a lot. I was like, there is so much mass surveillance. There's cameras everywhere. People, Gen Xers, boomers, whatever, they like to ask, why do these kids not drink anymore? Why don't they go out? Why don't they do stuff? It's because if you go out and you do anything, you act a fool, you will get fucking doxxed. And you want to get doxxed, people's families are getting doxxed. It is just, I don't know. This is kind of a problem. Now, obviously, I will say this, like most things in life, this isn't all black and white. The benefit, that many people talk about with this mass surveillance is that, for criminals, if you go and commit some horrible crime that just makes you an objectively shitty person, before, yes, one of the benefit of cameras is that now you are likely to get caught. And, victims can get actual justice. And, in general, if you know that if you go and do some horrible thing that it's likely to be caught on footage and how you will get exposed for doing that, yes, the person is more likely to do that thing. That doesn't make him a good person because the only thing stopping them is the fact that they would get in trouble. But yes, I can fully admit, and this really comes back to the fundamental debate of, freedom versus security. And, I just think it's important to me to recognize this issue because it is an issue. And I will say this, personally, I think everyone should just live their lives, be good to other people. Obviously there's the extent, you don't always have to be, sometimes if being yourself means harming other people, then I don't think you should be yourself. But honestly, I gotta say this, who honestly gives a fuck? Like, if people are anonymous, or people on burner accounts anonymously or whatever, just grilling into you for whatever reason, I say this, fuck them. Like, who cares? Honestly, I gotta keep it a stack with you. Personally, I will say this, I'm not a sensitive person. Like, there may have been a time I was a sensitive person. You could go to my comment section and tell me whatever. You give me the worst insult. You could tell me to kill myself. I don't care. I would not bat an eye. Because at the end of the day, who cares what some anonymous stranger has to say? That's the thing. It's easy. Here's the thing. You can't seek validation from everyone. That's one thing I've learned in life, that sometimes you got to learn that the hard way. Now, I understand not everyone's a Christian. I am. Even if you're not a Christian, you have to understand who Jesus was as a person. Jesus was, how we believe it, the only perfect person. Obviously, Christians, we don't believe that he's a person. Well, it's complicated. But he, despite how good of a person he was to people, he was still killed on a cross. So that is my lesson as to why you cannot be a people pleaser. It's impossible to be a people pleaser. Yes, you can try, but no matter what, people will hate, people will tear you down, and they will do whatever they can to tear you down. And I will just say this, I understand that, not everyone's, some people are sensitive people, and I feel for them a lot. And because being sensitive is not a bad thing. That means you have empathy. That means you care. But it's just an unfortunate reality that the world we live in is just, people, especially the online world we live in, people sit behind a screen and they will say whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you meet them in person, they won't say these kind of things. But whenever they're behind a screen, they can feel very, very powerful. Because, at the end of the day, it's easy to say, oh, cyberbullying isn't an issue. Like, just go outside, bro, you whatever. But it is an issue because it hurts. It hurts people. Words can hurt. Like, I think that's the thing that we forget as a society is that words can hurt. So at the end of the day, that's all I really got for today. Been wanting to talk about this one for a while. So I hope everyone's doing well.